YouTube, how you guys doing? My name is Kyle, you can call me Dragonmar, and welcome to another episode of 5-Minute Tips, which goes longer than 5 minutes. So today we'll be focusing on D.Va tips, and I'm going to refer specifically to my climb to Grandmasters by using only D.Va. So first, some basic information. D.Va is obviously part of the tank class. She utilizes 2 lives, which does kind of make her unique, one in her mech suit, and once she dies, she goes into pilot mode, and she can sort of get her mech back rather quickly. She has a beefy 600 health, which includes armor, and she sort of takes advantage of her defense matrix to exploit and kind of win games where she has no right to and win fights where she has no right to. Now, D.Va is a great hero for those of you who want to be extremely aggressive and annoying, while also still play that tank role and have some really great opportunities to not only save your teammate, but also completely wipe the enemy team. Now, as I was saying, I did climb to Grandmaster in a relatively short amount of time using D.Va, so in this I'm going to be referencing a lot of what I learned and hopefully to share that with you guys in an effort and in an attempt to help you get better with D.Va and sort of understand a little bit more about her. So, let's begin. Okay, so tip number 1 is mastering the boop. Right, D.Va is sort of like a battering ram, and what I mean is that you can use her ability to fly into the enemies and knock them off of mainly high places. This works on a ton of maps where you can not only knock them off of high places, but simply knock them off the map and kill them, similar to what Lucio's do. And my suggestion, if you're going to fly in, and I really do suggest this is what I did a lot, is you fly up into the enemy team and sort of come at an angle behind them so you can knock them off into your team to kill them. And this is really great for sort of breaking up choke points, especially on those first chokes of maps where the enemy team is normally going to have high ground. My sort of preference and what I want you guys to try to do is to use your defense matrix for about 1 second when you're flying into them to sort of stop the damage from hitting you so you have as much health as possible when you meet them. And then once you meet them, I want you to fly through the enemy team, and as you're flying through them, the goal is to knock them off, and then by that time you'll have your defense matrix up and you'll also be off of the platform. The biggest mistake you can make is flying in and landing in that team, putting your jetpack on cooldown, and this puts you at a huge risk to die. So whatever you do, get off of that platform and back to your team as quickly as you can and knock as many off as possible. Alright guys, tip number 2 is all about using D.Va's defense matrix to the fullest of its ability. Now, from bullets to ultimates to the other team's hopes and dreams, D.Va can obviously eat them all. And most notably, you're going to see like things like Soldier and McCree are really countered hard, and also Farrah's projectiles, her rockets, just get completely absorbed and make her almost useless in a way. It's sort of important to master the art of soaking and absorbing damage, because not only is this going to help you survive, but it's also going to help your team survive. And one great tip I would give is to always help your Reinhardt out. Remember, his shield is just getting hammered into most of the time, so communicate with him. When he steps back, put your defense matrix up, give him time to sort of regenerate, and then let him go back to do his thing. And then also, the other tip involving this is to counter the enemy Reinhardt as hard as you can. And what I mean is that you need to be eating every fire strike every single time. And the best way to notice this is when he drops his shield, you kind of know he's going to fire strike, and that's exactly when you need to put your defense matrix up, and most of the time he is going to do that, and you'll soak it up entirely. And the reason you do this is to stop him from building ult, and to stop him from hurting your team and potentially killing someone in the back line. Alright guys, tip number 3 is about winning 1v1s. I'm going to go over 3 basic steps to win the 1v1s. Now first, you're going to want to initiate the fight by flying in and hitting them with a melee hit if possible. This is great burst and will knock them off of the perch if they're on one, or sort of disorient them. Next, aim around neck level to maximize your headshots and hits, and you're doing fine if you hear a tinging sound. If not, you make sure you adjust your aim accordingly. If you're close enough, make sure you go exactly for the head, because you're going to do a ton of DPS. The third step is to sort of focus on using your matrix right before the enemy's about to reload, and then once they start reloading, that's when you want to go all out and get as much damage as you can while they have to reload, which is something that D.Va does not have to do. And then finally, always keep an eye out for health packs. Remember, you can boost your way to a health pack and straight back to a fight, and suddenly you're up 300 health. And it is a huge advantage of D.Va, and her mobility is bar none. So tip number 4 is about protecting your teammates, and D.Va works best in tandem with Reinhardt because of her ability to absorb shots while his shield recharges, as I talked about earlier. And you have to remember, D.Va's a tank, guys, and she can be very supportive of her defense matrix. And it's very similar actually to Zarya and her bubbles. So first of all, a hooked enemy from Roadhog can be sort of saved by either defense matrixing over them or boosting into that Roadhog and knocking him away. Do not be afraid to boost into people and knocking them away. It is really huge, and it's something that I didn't do soon enough, and once I started doing it, I was saving a ton more people. Also, if a friendly sniper or support gets jumped on, remember, you can just run into them with D.Va and knock them away and hopefully create some separation for your teammate. And then finally, with something like Soldier, who is going to be using his ult and needs protection because he's a really high value target, don't be afraid to keep your defense matrix over him for the duration of his ultimate to sort of save him from any damage and from dying early. My final tip is about mastering the Self-Destruct Bomb, which is an absolutely devastating ultimate, but sort of the higher you go in rank, the more difficult it becomes to use because of people's awareness. Now, my biggest suggestion is to combo with someone like Reinhardt's Earthshatter, if possible. However, there is a sort of technique emerging where you use your Ana to run to the Reinhardt while he's focused on shielding your falling ultimate, which you boosted into the air, and then the Ana sleeps the Reinhardt, taking down his shield and leaving everyone vulnerable. And so this is sort of new to me. It just sort of started happening in my games, and it is amazing when it happens. So just remember, and don't get frustrated with the bomb. It is sort of hard to use, and the better people get, the less kills you're going to get. But when it works out well, it is really amazing. So my other tips for it include launching it into an air at a weird angle. You need to sort of catch people off guard. So it's really good to find great arcs for the bomb to sort of fall down. And I just wanted to say that in over 50 games as D.Va, I only have one sextuple kill, so don't be discouraged if you're not getting many kills with it. It does take time to learn, but just practice working those angles and seeing just sort of the perfect arc to get over certain obstacles and buildings and choke points. Alright guys, in conclusion, remember, D.Va is excellent at knocking people off of choke points to help with the push, or just simply off the map. Also, make sure you're saving people as much as possible with defense matrix, as well as booping people who may be hooked by Roadhog. On top of that, remember, D.Va can eat ultimates, from completely eating them, like Zarya's, to just simply preventing them and making them null, like blocking a Soldier. On top of that, once you master that bomb, it is the most rewarding feeling in the world. So honestly guys, those of you looking to climb, I highly suggest D.Va. Stick with it, keep some of these tips in mind, and focus on being extremely annoying as well as protecting your team as you are in that tank role. With that being said guys, I hope you learned something new, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope you all have a great day. Take it easy guys, I'll see you next time, and peace.